Hello, people from Soundland. Today we continue what we start in the first episode, and it's about mixing for a metal song. It's a metal song with some symphonic instruments, as I've told you in the first episode. Today, the drum in the slow part. We've discussed about the heavy metal drum, the metal drum in the first episode. Today we're going to discuss about the other drum, the slow part, which is a little bit different as a process, and also for sure it's a different sound. Being a slow part, have completely other characteristic of the elements. This drum, it's spread in channels in the DAW, in Cubase, and goes in a drum sub, and then is also sent it to a parallel compression channel and a reverb channel. But to remember what is about in this song, it's this 101, the title of the song, 101. It sounds like this. This is the metal part. Just a few seconds. Okay, this was the intro. And now comes here the last part of the metal before the slow part, where it's the drum that we're gonna discuss about today. I don't want to forget to say thank you to our sponsor, CMC Web and Audio Production, for everything that is here, and let us have this comments, this mixing videos and everything that's happened on our channel. So the slow part, as I've told you, it's continuing after the first metal one. Yeah. Okay, so I've read the entire slow part for you to understand what it's about. As I've told you in the first episode, it's finished with a solo and comes back in the metal style of the song. Like you are used from the first episode, we're gonna get very fast in the channels of the drum. But first of all, let's listen both drums, the metal one and this one in the slow part, with a solo, to understand what we are discussing about here. Yeah. So it's better for us to understand the differences between these two drums. Yeah. Okay, it's an obvious difference in top of the bass drum, first of all, but not just. Also, the snare have a different characteristic. Even if in the first part the snare is not quite a metal snare, a short one. Yeah, it's long because of the tempo of the song. Yeah, tempo of the song. Also in the first part it's a relaxed one, so the snare is not so short like in other metal songs with a faster rhythm or BPM. Let's hear again with the bass support. Again, just to understand what is about and which is the difference. So again, a little bit from the metal drum and a little bit from the slow part drum. Okay, it was also in the bass obvious that the process is different. More distortion in the metal bass, a little bit more presence without distortion in the slow part for the bass. But we've talked about drum, the slow part drum today, so let's take a look here what it's about. We have a heavy rock plate. This is the preset that we've used today. It's part from metal heavy rock chapter here in Superior Drummer 3, the software that we use for this song. Remember 101, the song that comes to complete an EP for this springtime. Production of CMC web and audio production. So the metal heavy rock chapter we have here, heavy rock plate. We've started with this preset. Okay. Then there are some little modifications that we've done to this drum set. Not something drastically. There are just little modification. We've kept somehow the characteristic of this drum. We like it. I like it. It's a very good one for our task. And we've was focused more on the drum bass. There we've made process, let's say, the same, not a big process, but there it's the main process of this drum. The rest is that you're gonna see here in these channels from the Superior Drummer 3. There are the process that comes with the stock preset. So there are the process from the preset that you normally have in this metal heavy rock section here in Superior Drummer 3. The drum looks like you see here. The snare have some adds, and it's about here. The first add for the snare, it's electronic SDS9, yeah. The other one, it's a 14, 5 or 14 gretsch solid aluminium articulation rim shot. For you to know what comes here in this preset. And very fast through the mixer, let's see here, we have the kick drum, the same in 3 elements, the kick in, kick out and the sub. Some EQs here, a little bit bump in 68-70 Hertz for the bottom, and then a scoop in 300 for this drum. Here's nothing interesting. Then another scoop here in 5000. The same, the top of this bass drum, it was a little bit too much for our needs. That's why we've let it here. I've let here the top 4 decibel down. Next one, it's the kick out. Bump 63 Hertz. Little bit down 132. It was a little bit too much energy here. And the cut for this element over 5600. Yeah, it's a cut with just 6 decibel per octave slope. Okay, next one. I need to mention all these channels. Here is the big difference between the first drum, the metal one that we've presented in the first episode, and this one is each of these channels goes in different buses. So as you see here, there are channels from 1 to, let's see, 30. And every element of the drum goes in one of these out channel. Yeah? It's about out channels that you can find them here in the DAW. As you see here in Cubase. This is the big difference between the metal drum that we've treated complete in the Superior Drum 3. Here we've sent all the channels, all the elements channels in the DAW channels, in Cubase channels. Yeah, that's why kick in have a note 1 2 here, kick out 3 4, kick sub 5 6, and like this, and so on till X snare top, which goes in channels 29 30. Okay, let's turn back. We was here to the kick out. I've showed you what is about. Then the sub, it's a little bit kick sub. Yeah, it's a little bit different, treated with the EQ84. It's a parametric one, a huge bump in 60 hertz, 15 decibel. And then we have here a huge cut in 10 kilos, minus 15 decibel. Do you see what's happened here? Also, we have a high cut, the same big one, cut in 6K. Okay? Further, snare top. This is the top of the snare, a bump here for the bottom, 200 hertz somehow, a little bit scoop here for the ring, frequency 493, 500, and the top of the snare 5,000, sorry, up. Snare bottom have in 10K 4 decibel up, and also in 300. As you see here, we are in 300 or 350, 2 decibel, a little bit for the body of the snare, of the bottom snare, let's say. Then it's a low cut, everything under 160 hertz, it's gone, it's out, and that's it with a EQ here. Comes a transient shaper, attack 4, so for this bottom a little bit more attack, and that's it. Hi-hat, let's see, the hi-hat have a 5-6 decibel up here in 11K, have also in 1600 2 decibel up, and a minus scoop, let's say, in 220, there are minus 4 decibel in 220 hertz. Yeah. Then a low cut under 160 hertz, everything out from under 160 hertz. This was the hi-hat. Then comes the tombs, very fast. Let's see, rack 1. Rack 1 here have a top up, 6,000. Then 2 notches, 217 hertz, and another one, 144. There are ring frequencies that was bit notching. Yeah, we didn't let it. We didn't cut it complete just notching. For example, this one -7 decibel, this one in 144 hertz, and the other one -5 decibel. This is the first tune. The second one have a bump for the button here in 119 hertz, a scoop in 300, like most of the our drums that we present here, and top in 7,000, a little bit up, just 1.5 decibel. Comes the floor tone one with a bump here in 101, like the song. 101 here for decibel, cut under 43 hertz, so a cut. Then a little bit, not quite a little bit, -8 decibel in 300 scoop, and up the 6,000 to 7,000 the top. Shortum 2 is this one, 71 hertz. Up the bottom, a huge scoop here in 300, -9 decibel, and here it's somehow nothing. It's a 0.3 decibel in 5,000, but can be also out. Very interesting. This is a channel that had in the past, in the original preset, a reverb send, but because we send everything in the DAW, this reverb doesn't exist. It was a send to a channel for reverb, but it doesn't matter for the moment. It's out. Okay, let's see here. The overheads have just an EQ with a cut under 220 hertz. It's a mid up 2 decibel, just around 2000, 1.6, 2000 hertz. 4 decibel, the 12K up. Then a low cut under 160, and that's it. These are the overheads, but you're gonna see in the DAW, the overheads are again processed with other kind of processor there. You're gonna see what it's about in the DAW, because in the DAW, the channel of the overheads have its own process. Okay, here we have and let's see what is also. Just a second. Yeah, as you see, it's just a matter of snare here. In this kind of overheads, it's another instance of overhead, and here is sent just most of the snare, and we have 110 up here, 2 decibel for the bottom. Again, 3 decibel here in 6K top. Very interesting. And 12K also 2 decibel. Yeah, these are the other instance of overheads, which have most of the snare there. Then we have a ribbon We have a ribbon mic here. Like ambience is far, yeah. It's an ambient mic for ambience. The ribbon have a scoop in 300, 350, then shelf in 5,000, 6,000 for this ribbon ambient. Also is conditioned by a compressor. Here it's a minus 15 decibel the input gain, attack 7, release 3.66. So very slow attack. Most of the transient goes over through. The release also not big. So mixing in 100% with the ratio, though it's very squashed, a ratio of 20 to 1. This is for the ambient ribbon. Then comes the other two elements headings for the snare. And we have here first a transient shaper, the attack with 5 decibel up, just. Here comes the EQ with 7-8 decibel up for around 4,000, and the same down, yeah, in the other direction. Everything down under 4,000, the same 7-8 decibel. This channel had in the past the same reverb send, which right now doesn't exist. It was in the original preset. X snare top, the other adds have no process, as you see. And the last one, the last channel that have a process is the out channel that goes in the DAW. It's the 1 and 2. That means it's the, let's say the bass here, because I don't know how to name it. It's the out channel for the kick in. Yeah, the kick in have on the out channel this EQ with a bump here in 54 hertz, 55, 54, doesn't matter, 50, around 50. And obviously it's a cut here under this 54 hertz. Then it's a compressor, a classic one, with a threshold minus 16.5, a ratio 3 to 1, attack 25.9, release 118 milliseconds, makeup, yeah, a little bit gain up, 1 decibel, and completely mixed, so it's not a parallel compression. This is a drum. This is the bass drum, and this is the drum complete. It's not so complicated. All the processor can be found in the software in Superior Drummer 3, so nothing spectacular. The preset is from, as I've told you, metal and heavy rock, and the name is Heavy Rock Plate. We've done just a little modification. We want to maintain the characteristic of this preset because we like it. The only difference between the preset and our drum in this moment is this method to send all the channels of the software of the drum in the DAW. And now let's go to the DAW. We are here. As you see, the elements send it already to the channels. They are here. Kick, out, sub, snare, bottom, and like this. Yeah, all the elements. We have it here. What's happened here is just a matter of, and let's take a look. It's just a matter of volumes. So what we've done here, we've set it up our volumes like we need in the song. The only channel that have an extra process is the channel of the overheads, like I've told you before. It's about the API compressor from waves, and it's very easy. Here we squashed a lot the overheads with a threshold, a maximum threshold, fast attack, a ratio to infinite, and a huge release, slow. Yeah, this is the compressor to squash as much as we can the overheads. It was a decision for this drum here, make everything longer, bigger. And then all these channels, as you see maybe here in the DAW, all these channels are going, sorry, this is the kick, this is the out. Everything goes in kick group, and this kick group goes in instruments. Then, or let me show you from the beginning to be very, very, very clear. Yeah, let's start with the kick. As I've told you, kick. It's a little bit tricky because we have sent the channels in different buses in different direction, because it was depending on the sound that we want to have it, we want to obtain. That's why let's start very easy with the kick. So we have the kick in that, as I've told you, goes in the kick group, which is here. Yeah, you see, this is the kick group here, and receive this one, the kick. Yeah, then out. The kick out goes the same in the group, in the kick group. The kick group here, as you see, have a bump and also a cut here in 40. And then we have here in 3500 a -9 decibel. Because of the top of the kick, it was a little bit too the presence of the kick, maybe it was a little bit too much and goes too much through. The out, it was, as I've told you, the same in the kick group. The sub here also in the kick group. What is interesting now, the kick group, these are the kicks, yeah, all the channel, kick in, kick out, sub, all this goes in kick group. This one with this EQ have a process. It's from Slate Digital. It's a virtual mix rack with started with a thick rock kick. This was the preset that we started with. Let's see where it is here. Yeah, thick rock kick, as you see. What is different here than the original? We let in 0 here the shelf up. It's in 0. We didn't use it. Here the same on the other EQ. The rest of the settings are from this preset, thick rock kick. Yeah, this is a preset. This is the process just for the kick group. Also, this kick group, it is send it with -5.5 decibel in the parallel here, in the parallel compression channel. So pay attention, have its own process, but also it send it in a parallel compression. And the whole group of the bass drum, it is send it not in the drum bus, it's send it in the instrument bus, where all the instruments comes, guitar, bass, everything goes there before the voice. So it goes directly in the instruments. It didn't pass through drum bus. Good. Let's go further. Snare. Snare goes in the drum bus, as you see here, and have no process. Bottom snare, the same. Goes in the drum bus, no process. Hi-hat, the same. Tom 1, the same. Tom 2, the same. The floor tom 1, the same. Floor tom 2 or the fourth tom, the same. In drum bus without process. The overheads, as I've told you, have here this squashing compressor, and also I forget to tell you about the EQ that comes over the other EQs that are in the Superior Drummer 3, and here it's a cut under 245 hertz and notch scoop in 1300. It was because of the snare. It was a little bit too much, the snare in the overheads and in this area. Okay, this goes also in the drum bus. Let's go further. The other instance of the overhead, nothing in the drum bus. The ribbon goes also in the drum bus without process. X snare, the same. X top, the same. And these are all the channels from the drum. Now let's see what's happened here in the drum bus. It's a drum bus that have all the elements excepting the bass drum group. Yeah, the rest, all the elements comes here in this drum bus. And this drum bus have a cut here in 40 hertz, have a send to a drum reverb, and have a send to a parallel compression, as you see. And it have also its own process. First of all, it comes a virtual tape machine from Slate Digital. This is just to cut a little bit the air, the top of the top, and also to give a little bit this feeling of analog recording. Let's listen. Let's take a listen. What's happened with and without. It's barely audible. It's not something that is obvious. It's not something that you can say, yeah, okay, it's clear what it's about. No, it's something barely audible, but enough to give the sensation of this analogic recording. Yeah, this is. We don't need to. I don't need to go through all the settings here. It's enough if you understand here. It's about a BS that is the normal one, and also the speed of the tape. It's in 15 inch per second, because we don't want to have top highs. Yeah, the high frequencies. We want to tamp a little bit the high frequencies. This is just for this process. Then comes again Slate Digital virtual mix rack with a drum bass polish that wasn't modified. It comes directly from the presets. As you see, presets from this for this virtual mix rack. Yeah, drum bass polish. It's very easy one without too much things affecting the sound. Yeah. As you see here, the compressor not even react. It's just to be there to take the top of the transient, just like this. Yeah. This is the whole process for this drum bass. Don't forget, we have these two sends here, and for sure the drum bass goes in instrument bass. This is completely other thing we're gonna discuss in other episodes about. Okay, now comes the parallel one. We've used here Slate Digital because we love it. This virtual mix rack with a drum bass parallel. It's the thing that the preset that we can find here, drum bass parallel, and it's a little bit modified. Yeah, what is modified here, as I remember, we've let this in 0 because we don't need top here. We have it here for a little 1.5 decibel. Everything over 10,000 goes here. But the modification, the real modification here, it's in the compressor, in this distressor. We've put a little bit the input up to impact more the compressor, to squash more the sound of the drum here in this parallel compression. Because the name said it also, it's a parallel one, yeah? We have the sound of the drum, the original sound, and here comes in parallel with the original one comes this squash sound from the drum. And that's why here, as you see, it looks like this settings, yeah, with 8 decibel. Here is not, I think it's not decibel here, it's in just a gradation to be like this. But yeah, for the people who are used with this kind of compressor distressor, let's say 8, yeah, then attack 8, yeah, it's not a slow, it's a slow one, it's not a fast one. Fast release, yeah, okay, here it's the output. And ratio 4:1. And let's listen again and let's look what's happened here. Okay, this was the parallel compression channel. The next and the last channel is the reverb channel. As you remember, we have this send also here, yeah, to the reverb channel, and it's this one. It looks like this, nothing special, just the lustrous plates from Slate Digital with a preset named Bright Ambience. This is the reverb for the whole, the complete drum, as you see here. And it's a completely wet, is normal, because we come with this channel in parallel to the drum, and it sounds like this. As you see, it have a huge impact. It have a huge impact on the drum, on the whole drum, excepting the bass drum. As you remember, the bass drum was sent in the instruments bass, yeah? So, this drum was constructed, as I've told you from the beginning, to cover the gap because of the tempo of the part. Because of the slow rhythm, because of less instruments, there are just here is just a bass, guitar, clean one, and the drum. We need to fill these gaps, and we've done this with this reverb, with compressor in overheads that squashed everything and make it longer, and yeah, things to cover the gaps between the elements. That's it. That's it for today. The drum, it's finished to be explained, the both parts, the slow one, the metal one. We're going to continue in the next episode with the bass for the both parts, the metal bass, the slow part bass, the process, everything is going to be explained. I don't want to forget again to thanks a lot to CMC Web and Audio Production for being our sponsor. Please subscribe, push the notification button for receiving news and infos about new videos online. And what can I say? Keep on mixing.